In 1202, an Italian mathematician named Leonardo Fibonacci published a book called Liber Abaci. In it, he described a sequence of numbers that began simply enough: 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, 34, 55, 89, 144. Each number is the sum of the two that precede it. He had discovered the sequence while calculating the reproductive rate of rabbits. What Fibonacci did not know, and what took centuries to fully appreciate, is that this sequence is not a mathematical curiosity. It is the operating code of biological growth itself. The seeds in a sunflower head spiral in two directions simultaneously. One set of spirals runs clockwise, another runs counterclockwise. Count them. Invariably, you find two consecutive Fibonacci numbers, 34 and 55, or 55 and 89. The same pattern appears in the scales of a pine cone, the florets of a cauliflower, the arrangement of leaves on a stem, the branching of arteries, the bone structure of the human hand. The ratio between consecutive Fibonacci numbers approaches a limit as the sequence progresses. 3 halves is 1.5. 5 thirds is 1.666. August 5th is 1.6. 13 eighths is 1.625. At the higher numbers, the ratio converges on 1.61803398, a number that never terminates, never repeats, and has been known since antiquity as the golden ratio. The ancient Greeks called it phi, after the sculptor Phidias, who used it to design the Parthenon. A universe that selects for growth, efficiency, and structural stability will converge on this ratio every time, at every scale. Nature did not discover the Fibonacci sequence. The Fibonacci sequence discovered nature. The next episode is already in my profile. Subscribe so you don't miss it. The golden ratio appears in the cosmos at scales that dwarf biology. The spiral arms of the Milky Way galaxy follow logarithmic spirals whose expansion rate matches phi. The same is true of NGC 6814 and dozens of other spiral galaxies catalogued in the Hubble Space Telescope archive. The arms do not expand linearly or exponentially. They expand in golden ratio increments, producing a shape that maintains self-similarity at every scale. Kepler's third law of planetary motion relates orbital period to orbital radius. When the ratios of orbital periods between adjacent planets in our solar system are plotted, they cluster around Fibonacci-derived resonances. The ratios of orbital periods of Venus to Earth, Earth to Mars, Mars to Jupiter, each approximates a simple Fibonacci fraction. This is not coincidence. It is the solar system settling into the resonant frequencies that allow stable long-term orbits. And those stable resonances happen to be phi-related. The human body is saturated with golden ratio proportions. The ratio of the total height to the navel height, the ratio of the forearm to the hand, the spacing of the facial features, the proportions of the inner ear cochlea. The DNA double helix completes one full twist every 34 angstroms in length, with a cross-section 21 angstroms wide. 34 and 21 are consecutive Fibonacci numbers. Ancient Greek architecture, the Egyptian pyramid geometry, the design of the Parthenon, the proportions of Renaissance painting, all invoke phi deliberately. The artists and architects were not imposing a pleasing proportion. They were encoding a recognition that the universe has a preference for this ratio. Why does matter self-organize around a single irrational number? The question does not have a reductionist answer. The next episode is already in my profile. Subscribe so you don't miss it. The deeper meaning of the golden ratio is not mathematical. It is a statement about the nature of consciousness and creation. Phi is unique among all possible ratios in one specific way. It is the only ratio that, when squared, equals itself plus 1. Phi squared equals phi plus 1. In other words, it is self-referential in a way that no other number is. It grows by incorporating its own past. It expands without losing itself. It is the mathematical expression of what it means to be simultaneously part and whole, the part that, in the right relationship with the whole, reconstructs the whole. This is the Hermetic principle of correspondence made algebraic. As above, so below, and the below in the right ratio contains the above. Sacred geometry traditions across every ancient culture encode this ratio in their temple architecture, their mandalas, their cosmological diagrams. The Sri Yantra of Hindu tradition, the flower of life, the pentagram of Pythagorean geometry, all are phi constructions. All encode the same statement, that the universe creates itself according to a pattern of recursive self-similarity, and that this pattern is recognizable, learnable, and applicable. Your nervous system evolved inside a universe structured by phi. Your visual cortex is optimized to recognize phi proportions as beautiful, because beauty at the neurological level is the recognition of the fundamental organizing principle of reality encountering itself in form. When you see a spiral shell and feel inexplicable awe, you are not having an aesthetic experience. You are recognizing your own deep structure, and once you see this, you cannot unsee it. The next episode is already in my profile. Subscribe so you don't miss it.